Hello guys, welcome to our class for financial statement analysis lesson 2. So I want us to focus on some of the questions that were tested in financial reporting and analysis. We shall start from the sitting of August 2025. There was a question there. So let us start with the question for August 2025. And specifically, let us go to question number August 2025, question number 1B. August 2025, question number 1B. So let us do the question for August 2025. So it's about the horizontal analysis and the common size statement. So August 2025, question number 2B. So August 2025, question number 2, boy. That is the horizontal analysis. So let me read the question. It's about the venture capital. Let me read the question. Venture capital presented the following financial statement in the books. In the venture capital presented the following financial statement of the Brook Limited for analysis. So you have the Brook Limited statements of the financial statement, income statement for the year ended that 1st December 2024. Then you have the Brook Limited statement of the financial position. Then required number 1, vertical analysis on the statement of the financial in the statement of profit and loss. So required vertical analysis on the statement of the profit and loss for the year ended at 1st December 2024. And number 2, horizontal analysis on the statement of the financial position. Each 8 marks. Each 8 marks. So let me draft the income statement in the board and the balance sheet in the board. Then we do the question together. So allow me to draft the income statement first in the board. So that is the income statement. It is a copy paste from the financial statement. Now let us do part A of this question. Part A requires us to compute what we call the vertical common size statement. So vertical common size statement, and we said for vertical common size statement, when we talk about the income statement, because this one is an income statement or the statement of profit and loss. So we say that each item in the income statement or in the P&L, profit and loss, is expressed as a percentage of total revenue or total sales. Is expressed as a percentage of total revenue or total sales or the total sales or the total sales. In this case, we are going to use the word total revenue because that is what we have been given during the year. Now remember, revenue is always 100%. Now let us start. So we need to come up with another column for percentage. So let us start with the revenue. So revenue to be equal to 6514,978 divided by, now revenue divided by what? The total revenue, which is 6514,978. Then your answer you multiply by 100. That will be equal to 100%. So let me put the percentage here. So that's number 1. We go to the next item, which is cost of sales. Cost of sales. Now, cost of sales will be expressed as a percentage of total revenue. So, cost of sales is 16,848. You divide with the total revenue, which is 6514,978. You multiply by 100 to get in form of percentage. So, how much will that be? It will be equal to 1680,408. 1680. Let me just put it. 1680,408 divided by 6514,978, then multiplied by 100. That will be equal to 25%. 25.79%. Now we can get also gross profit, which will be equal to 4834,570 divided by 6514,978 times 100. That will be equal to what? So we say 4834, 570. So that will be equal to 74.21. 74.21%. Or you take 100 minus, that one. So 100 minus 25.79, supposed to give you the same answer. Then you proceed. 2072,010 divided by 6514,978 times 100. 246,934 6514,978 times 100. Then 1567,938 6514,978 times 100. Then we get our profit before tax, 947,688 6514,978 times 100. Then we deduct depreciation. This is 312, 736, 6514, 978 times 100. Then we get 634, 952, 6514, 978 times 100. Then we deduct 62178, 6514, 978 times 100. We get earnings before tax in terms of percentage, 572, 774, 6514, 978 times 100. Then we deduct the income tax, 171, 284, 6514, 978 times 100, so that we can get our final figure, which is 401,490 divided by 6514, 978 times 100. That one is correct. Now let us move on to upper part. Let us come up with the percentage of the vertical statement. 22, 22, 20, 72, 010 divided by 6514, 978 times 100. That is 31.80. 31.80%. They talk about 246, 934. 246, 934. This is equal to 3.7. Remember, you are minusing 3.79%. Then you say 15, 67, 938, 24.07%. The other one, 947, 688, 14.55%. Then 312, 736, 4.80%. This one is supposed to deduct because it is depreciation, so that you can get the earnings. 634, 634, 952, 634, 952 divided by the answer. which is equal to 9.75%. Then we less finance cost of 62,000, 62,178. This is around 0.95%, so that you can get the earnings of 572,774 of 8.79%. Then for 171, that is the income tax, 171, 284, 2.63%. 2.63%. Then the last one which is 401, for 401, that is 6.16%. Now that is okay. That is how you are supposed to do that question. We can also try to verify by starting from the upper part. Let us see if we can get this one. So if we start with the 100% divided by minus 25.79, we are going to get this amount. Then we deduct that 1.8, 3.79. Also we deduct 24.07. We are getting 14.55. That is correct. So when we deduct this 3, then we deduct minus 4.8. We are getting 9.75. If we deduct this one, then we deduct 0.95. We are getting 9.75 minus 0.95, 8.8. So 8.79, that's fine. I'm getting 8.8%, which is approximately 8.79, so that one is fine. Then we deduct 2.63, yes, 6.16%. So that's how you're supposed to do that question for part A. And this one was 8 marks. 8 marks. Now, have we done that one? Let us go to part B of the same question. So part B is about the financial statement, the statement of the financial position, the balance sheet. Now for the balance sheet, when we talk about this one, they require us to do what? For part B, they require us to do what we call the horizontal analysis. Let us do the horizontal analysis. So horizontal analysis, but that one is for the balance sheet. Now remember, for the horizontal analysis, we need to have a base. So the base here, so every item is determined. So the percentage of every item is determined from the base here using the horizontal. Remember, for the vertical, for vertical analysis, when it comes to the income statement, it is expressed as percentage of. So every item is expressed as a percentage of total revenue. Every item is expressed as a percentage of total revenue. When we come to the balance sheet, we talk about the vertical statement, but in the balance sheet, every item is expressed as a percentage of total assets. Now, but this question part B, the balance sheet, they don't require us to do the vertical statement where we express all the items as a percentage of total assets. They require us to do the horizontal. Now, horizontal is different. So for horizontal, every item is expressed as a percentage of a base year, of a given base year. So let us do it here for vertical analysis. So allow me to come up with the statement of the financial position first before we proceed. So allow me to come up with the statement of the financial position before we proceed. So now let us do the horizontal analysis for the statement of the financial position. Now it is possible for us to do the horizontal analysis. Reason why? Because we have 2 years. The base year is 2023, and then we have another year. So the hiyo mwaka ya kitambo. So in this case we have 2023 and 2024. 2023 ndio ya kitambo. That one becomes the base year, or the year that was there before these other years. So the years before becomes the base year. So in this case, the only item that will form our base year is 2023, because that one is the one that was there before 2024 or before any other year in that case. Now, how do we do it? We take the current year, we divide with the base year, we get the percentage. So this is how you do it horizontal analysis. So this one was vertical analysis. Vertical analysis. So this one was vertical analysis. This one now, this one is horizontal. Horizontal analysis. And then we put the percentage in this part. So for example, that's the first one. We take 35, 49, 100. We divide with the base year, 33, 89, 440. Then you multiply by 100 to get the percentage. So 35, 49, 100 divided by 33, 89, 440. Then you divide by 100. That is 104.71%. 104.71%. We go to the next item, 1326. 1326, 944 divided by the base 1236, 168. Then multiply by 100%. So 1326, 944 divided by 1236, 168 times 100. That is 107. 107.34%. Now the extra items, it means that they ask, for example, the first one, it is 104.71%. What does it mean? Now it means that 4.71% was an increase in asset. So the asset increased by 4% from the year 2023 to 2024. So from the year 2023 to 2024, the asset increased by the land and building. So the land and building increased by 4.71, which can be either through acquisition of a new land or either through revaluation. So the land was appreciated during those years. It can either be, it's either the land itself has increased in value or they add other land during those years. But a good definition, a good explanation it can be that the 4.7% could represent an increment in land appreciation. Then property, plant and equipment. Now the 7% for property, plant and equipment. Remember, property, plant and equipment cannot appreciate. Now in this case, the 7.4% increment means that there was a purchase of the PPE. There was a purchase of PPE. If, for example, it reduced, we can either say it is due to depreciation. For example, let us assume when we do that part, this one, we don't get 87, but we get 90%. Let us assume we get 90%. For example, let's assume we get 90%. Now, if the question requires you to explain, what will you say? The 90%, there's a reduction of 10%. So, for example, if you get a 90%, for example, for plant and equipment, it means that there is a reduction of the PPE by 10%. What does 10% means? It means either number one, that the PPE depreciated, so it reduces the value of the PPE, or because you have the accurate depreciation here, we cannot say it is PPE. We can say either they sold some item of PPE. There was a disposal during the year, so that amount reduced by 10%. But in that case, it was 107.74, meaning 7% increment represent, because we have a depreciation here, it is done separately. Then 7% means that they acquired the assets. So PPE was acquired. So we have an increment of PPE which represent acquisition of PPE during the year. Then let us see the next. 47 and 30.30002 times 100. So 47 930 divided by 30002 times 100, 159. So 159.76%. So we have an increment of 59%. So we have an increment of 59%. But that 59% means there was an acquisition of a motor vehicle, additional acquisition of motor vehicle. So as the same way I've said here, there was an increment, meaning not a disposal. You can't remember disposal, not a disposal. When you have an increment, it means we have purchased. So there was a purchase of PPE, there was a purchase of motor vehicle by that increment. Land and building means it appreciated in value. So the increase 4%. It means that the land during those years increased by 4% the value of that land. Now let us say accumulated depreciation. 28, 37, 670 divided by 25, 91, 522 times 100. So 28, 37, 670 divided by 2591, 522 times 100. This is 109%. 0.50%. Now that is an increment in depreciation, meaning the increment in depreciation is due to more assets were acquired. So when you acquire more assets, then the value for depreciation also will increase, because every asset that you acquire must undergo depreciation. So the increment in depreciation, it means that there was more assets that were acquired which were also depreciated during that year. So it also increased. Then the non-current assets, up this part, let us see. 2086, 304, 2064, 088 times 100. So 2086, 304, 2064, 088 times 100. So 101, 101.08%. Now that means that total assets increased by 1%. So total assets increased by 1%. Then the last one, total and current asset, I mean. This one is 505,580 divided by the 433 to 10 times 100. So 505,580 divided by the 423 to 10. So just a moment. 505,580, 423 to 10 times 100, 119.46%. Now goodwill also increased by 19%. So there was a good customer relation in most cases. So in this case, when you have a good an increment in goodwill, it means that there was a good customer relation between the company and the employee, and therefore the goodwill increased by 19%. That's how you can explain it. Now you repeat the same to the rest. So I'll not be able to do the rest of the item. So you repeat the same. So this one divided by this one. So whenever we have a negative figure, you put a bracket. For example, depreciation, retained earnings, you also put total equity and liability is a negative figure, you also put a bracket, then you explain. So that's how you do the horizontal analysis. You take the value that you are in, you divide it with the base year. So you divide it with the base year. So repeat the same procedure to the rest. 141, 118 divided by the 134,046 times 100. 87,888 divided by 93,176 times 100. Until you reach here, 28,71, 786, you divide by 28,71, 786, divided by 100. Also the rest is applicable. So that was the vertical analysis and horizontal analysis for that question. So that's how you're supposed to answer that question. So that's how you are supposed to answer that question. But before I move to this question, now let us assume, what if you are asked to do the vertical analysis? You are supposed to do the vertical analysis for Brooks Limited settlement of the financial position. This one you cannot do the horizontal analysis because we only have 1 year period. That is 2024. We are not being provided with the one for maybe 2023 for purpose of doing the horizontal analysis. But in the case of horizontal analysis, in this case, the procedure is the same. Assume we have 2023 here, and you want to do the horizontal analysis. So you take the base, you divide by the you take the current value, divide by the base, multiply by 100. So you do all to the other items of the income statement. The same with the same procedure that you have done there. The only difference is this one is the income statement. That one is that one is the financial statement. That one is the balance sheet. This one is the income statement. So for result analysis, I think that one is okay. Now let us now change this part here and do vertical analysis. And I will do for one year. We shall do for the other years. So I will only do for 2023. Then you shall do for 2024. Then shall do for 2024. So let us do it together. Let us do it together. So I'm going to do for vertical analysis for 2023. Then you shall do it for 2024. So for vertical analysis, we said that every item in the balance sheet is expressed as a percentage of total assets, or total equity and liabilities. As you can notice, they are the same. When we talk about total assets, is 28,71,786. When we talk about total equity, is 28,71,786. So every item. So we talk about each item or each item in balance sheet or the statement of the financial position is expressed as a percentage of total assets or total equity and liabilities. Total equity and liabilities. Total equities and liabilities. Now I'm going to do for 2023, then find time. You do for 2024. So let's start with 2023 percentage. So this one is 2023. Supposed to be in form of percentage. Let me use a different pen. So every item is expressed as a percentage of total assets. Let's start with the landed building. 3389 440 divided by total assets, which is 2871 786. Then multiply by 100. So 3389 440 divided by 2871 786 times 100. We have 118%. 118.03. Now that one represent a change. So and as a percentage of total assets. So we can say 118% of the total assets. So 118% of land and building represent the total assets. So 118%, 118%, 118% of land and building is tunasemaje, 118% of land and building forms part of total assets. Forms part of total assets. We go to the next one. Next one. 1236 168 divided by 2871 786 times 100. So 1236 168 2871 786 times 100. 43%. 43%. Actually, there's something I've seen. Mhm. How comes that land and building is more than the total assets? Let me see if I did an error. Total assets. Okay, it is fine. So meaning, anyway, I think it's mostly because of depreciation part. We go to the next one. 30,002 divided by the 2871 786 times 100. So itakuwa ni 30,002 divided by 2871 786 times 100, or 1.04%. So only 1% of motor vehicle represent the total assets. So only 1%. So only 1%, 1.04% of motor vehicle is represented in the total assets. So you repeat the same procedure up to the other items. You repeat the same procedure up to the other item. For example, the depreciation here, 2591. This pen is not writing. 2591, 522 divided by total assets 2871 786 times 100. Remember, then you need to deduct 2591 522 divided by the 2871 786 times 100. 90%. 90%. Now, once you reach to this part, the percentage will be equal to 100%. So in that case, for total assets to be equal to 100%, also for this one, when we reach at this point, we shall get 100%. We shall get 100%, even if when you add them together, you add them where necessary. So you add 180 plus 43 minus plus 1.04 minus 90, and the rest. When you add them together, you need to get 100%. Also from this point, when you add the percentage, and you less where we have a negative figure, you shall also get 100%. I think that is enough. Or we can complete. Let me just let me just complete this one. Then we confirm the first upper part. Let us do this one. 2064 088 divided by 2871 786 times 100. Then we also do 433 to 10 divided by 2871. Four 33 to 10 2871 786 times 100. We don't need to do this one because it is a total. We can proceed to this one. 134 046 divided by 2871 786 times 100. Then 93 176 divided by the 2871 786 times 100. Then cash 147 226 2871 786 times 100. How much is that? We don't need to do the total for current assets. We also don't need to do this one. But this one we need to do it so that we know the final. 28 71 786 divided by the total assets, which is also the same, 28 71 786 times 100, which will give us 100%. it will give us 100%. It will give us 100%. So let us do the rest. Then we count and see. So let us continue from this part. Total and current assets. Also, this one is not relevant actually because it's a total. That one is not necessary. The only total that is necessary is this one, total assets. Now for goodwill, that one is necessary. 433 to 10 divided by 28, 71, 786 times 100, 15.89, 15.09%. Then 134, 046, 2871, 786 times 100, 4.67%. So 4.67%. Then 93, 176 divided by the 2871, 786 times 100, 3.24. Then cash 147, 226, 2871, 786 times 100, 5.12%. Now when you add this together, you need to get 100%. So let us confirm. 118.03 plus 43 plus 1.04 minus 90 plus 15.09 plus 4.67 plus 3.24 plus 5.12. That is 100.19, which is approximately 100%. So I'm getting 100.19. I think that's because of the decimal point. I'm getting 100.1. 100. I don't know why it is not writing 100.19. When I add together, I'm getting 100.19, which is approximately 100%, which is not a bad figure mostly because of the decimal points. So that's how you're supposed to do it. So you do the one for assets, and also you do the one for equity and liabilities. And from equity and liabilities also, when you add them together, it must give you at least 100%. So that's how you are supposed to do that question. That question is we are. It is now. We have completed the question. We have completed that question. Let us say December 2024. December 2024. December 2024. December 2024. December 2024, question number 5C. December 2024, question number 5C. That is your homework. I'm not going to do it. So December 2024. 2024, question number 5C. That's the first one. They required you to compute the common size statement of the financial position for August 2023 and the August 2024. That one is correct. That one is simpler. You don't need to look at it. Let's go to August 2024. We look if you had a question. August 2024. August 2024. August 2024. There was no question. April 2024. April 2024. April 2024. There was no question. Yeah. December 2023. December 2023. December 2023. December, there was no question. August 2023, August 2023, August 2023, August 2023. There was no question also. There was no question actually. April 2023, April 2023, April 2023, there was no question. December 2022, December 2022. Yes, so this one is your assignment. December 2022, question number 4B. December 2022, question number 4B, but I will do it later. Question number 4B. This is the ratio analysis. It's about ratios analysis. You can just try that one. And then the last one, August 2022. August 2022. Yes. August 2022, question number 5B. August 2022, question number 5B. So August 2022, question number 5B. They required you to compute. They required you to compute. Let me see. August 2022. Question number 5B. They required you to compute what we call the common size statement. That is the vertical for the income and the balance sheet. So you are supposed to come up with a common size statement for profit and loss, and for the statement of the financial position, and then you give some advice. It was 12 marks, easy marks. Then April 2022, I think that is all. That is all. So those are some of the questions that you can find, which they are easy. So I haven't done this one because I assume that you know how to use the ratios, because you also did the ratios in financial accounting, and they are the same ratios that I shared in our first class. So you go and check those ratios and try to do this question. So that marks the end of the lesson, financial statement and analysis. We shall not do any other class for the analyzing of the financial statement analysis. That one is the end of it. So our next class now will be, we'll focus on accounting for assets and liability. Accounting for assets and liabilities. So that will be our next topic, so that when we finish all those accounting for assets and liabilities, then we can do the published statement. So that is all for you. That is all for today. When we meet in our next class, our focus will be now on accounting for assets and liability. So have a lovely time. We shall meet in our next class.